This is the ECOVACS DEEBOT X9 Pro Omni Robot Vacuum and Mop, and if you're like me, someone juggling a pet who sheds non-stop and hardwood floors that show every speck of dust, this robot has probably caught your eye. Honestly, when I first set it up in my home, I wasn't sure it could keep up. Robot vacuums can be a big promise, but do they actually deliver on hands-free clean floors in busy real homes? That's what today's quick review is about. I want to talk through what this robot is actually like to live with day to day without overcomplicating things for you. If you haven't tried anything like this before, jumping right in, this vacuum looks great in person. The DEEBOT X9 Pro Omni has a sleek, low-profile kind of design. It's not chunky or awkward, and it fits in with most living room setups, which matters because the included Omni Station isn't small. It needs to sit somewhere accessible. It's finished in black, pretty understated, and the whole setup feels sturdy. What surprised me was how compact it actually is, with clean lines and no unnecessary bulk. You can carry it around without much effort. It's just over 27 pounds with the base, which for me signals there's real tech and quality inside. The robot itself slides under most furniture easily, thanks to its height, and cleaning under sofas or tables hasn't been an issue for me. I get a lot of dog hair in corners and tight spaces, so I was especially curious about how it handled edges. It turns out, those extended brushes reach right out and grab dust from baseboards and tight spots. From my experience, getting started was very beginner-friendly. If you're new to these, the thought of mapping your home might sound intimidating. But honestly, setup is a breeze. All I did was unbox, plug in the Omni Station, top up the water tanks, and scan a QR code to download the ECOVACS app. Connecting to Wi-Fi and setting up the robot took less than 15 minutes. When charging for the first time, I used the app to set a scan of my home layout. The smart AI navigation on the X9 Pro Omni is actually super accurate. It mapped each room, let me confirm or adjust room divisions, and now I'm able to send the robot to different zones directly from my phone. If you have certain spots with more mess, like my kitchen and living room, which are always full of dog hair or crumbs, it's perfect for setting up a custom cleaning schedule. I just go into the app and schedule the robot to clean high-traffic areas more often, and I can ignore guest rooms most days. Key features that really stand out for me as the owner are the cleaning power and how little maintenance I have to do myself. So here are the basics. The suction is rated at 16,620, which might sound a bit abstract, but it's way stronger than most robot vacuums I've tried. For pet owners, this is not a small detail. It gets every bit of hair and the fine dust out of my dark hardwood floors, which used to always look dusty just a few hours after vacuuming. The OZMO Roller mopping system is a big deal too. Instead of only washing the mop every 10 or 20 minutes like some older models, this one cleans the mop instantly while working, so I'm not smearing around dirty water. It makes a difference because if you've ever used a cheap robot mop, you'll know the clean smell doesn't actually last. Here, my floors are clean, dry quickly, and there's no leftover smell or streaks. Maintenance is almost zero effort. The Omni Station is like a personal cleaning helper. It refills the robot's water, washes and hot dries the mop pad, and empties all the dust from the robot directly into a bag. I only need to change every couple of months. That means if I leave home for a few days or forget, I come back to a house that's still reasonably clean. For people who get overwhelmed by gadgets that ask for attention all the time, this is probably the biggest sell. The ZeroTangle 3.0 system sounded like a marketing thing, but after 6 weeks, I'll say it truly works. I've had no tangles, even with all my dog's hair. No more wrestling with scissors trying to cut hair out of the roller brush, which I used to do several times a week with other vacuums. The robot recognizes carpet instantly and lifts the mop off the floor, so it never makes my rugs wet or gross, something that was always a pain with some other mopping bots. One thing I found really helpful in daily use is how quiet this thing is. I work from home and run the X9 Pro mid-morning or even at night, and it's not disruptive. Even when running the powerful suction, the sound is more like white noise than a normal vacuum, and most of the time I forget it's doing its thing in another room. Also, running it on a schedule genuinely works. You don't need to be home. It just does its thing, and I've woken up to clean floors multiple times now. That's not to say it doesn't have its quirks or things that could be better. I want to keep it real. This isn't a magic fix for every house. The voice communication feature, for example, could use some improvement. The vacuum is very chatty. It announces everything, when it starts, when it docks, if something's wrong, or when it's finished. I often find myself a room or two away, so sometimes I miss the voice updates, or it feels repetitive. I'd rather see more of these updates delivered via phone notifications, but that's minor unless you really dislike talkative robots. The biggest practical annoyance for me is with the water tanks. They aren't as big or as obvious as some older ECOVACS models. So on busy cleaning days, or if I forget to check, I'll need to refill the clean water tank or empty the dirty one more often than expected. For large homes, that just means a quick check every 3 to 4 days, but I wish they were a bit bigger and a little more visible to keep track of levels at a glance. On rare occasions, the brush roller struggled with larger objects. My dog dragged in like a random stick. It isn't an everyday thing, but it happened. So the X9 Pro isn't totally immune. Still, it's handled cords, shoes, and normal messes without trouble. Of course, price is a pain point. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is definitely a premium-priced robot vacuum. If you're just looking for a quick fix or don't want a big upfront investment, there are cheaper models. Just know you'll give up a lot of the set-and-forget experience and features that make this one unique. In conclusion, from my experience as a regular person and a pet owner with floors that need constant attention, I'd recommend this for anyone looking for a robot vacuum that actually works like the ads say it does. It doesn't solve every possible problem, but it's taken cleaning off my daily list of chores, and maintenance is way less work than I expected. It deals well with pet hair, smartly maps and remembers my rooms, and keeps itself clean with minimal help from me. The X9 Pro Omni is especially worth it for people who value time, want clean floors with less stress, or simply don't want to babysit another gadget. I will update specific information about the ECOVACS DEEBOT X9 Pro Omni robot vacuum and mop in the comments. Don't forget to catch my next video.